Does Scyla Anfigrimm ever smile in Tides of Torment? He's a Khorne hero, so he probably only smiles in the thickest of battle with lots and lots of messy stuff going around. But where else would he want to be? Where else would you want him to be? He's not going to cast spells after all. Let's see how he fares as a blood-seeking guided missile. Recruited at a certain lord level through rating income and then a whole bunch of kills, so therefore a little rating income. You'll get the kills without even thinking. No upkeep is required. On Ultra scale, he starts with 7,720 health. This is Nakai-ish level. Armor of 50 is not the best. Missile resistance 25% isn't so bad. Spell resistance 35% is your Khorne standard. What don't you see? Physical resistance, it's not here. Leadership 80 is legit solid. Speed 65 is pretty nimble for his size. Charge speed 150. Did it say 150? That's more than T'Challa's base value. That's to say, high. Melee attack begins at 52, but we'll get back to this. Attack interval 3.8 isn't T'Challa fast, but it's faster than the median. Splash target size medium means Knights Errant on down, and max target splash is 6. And in the new system, 6 is kind of a lot. T'Challa gets 6, and she has extra arms! Melee defense 30 is a dramatic downgrade over Bjorg. Weapon strength 550 is pretty good, split base 265, and armor piercing 285, a narrower split than I would have expected. Charge bonus is 60 and mass is 1800. There is no bonus versus infantry or versus large stock. What he does get stock is siege attacker trait Unbreakable, so his leadership never cracks. Frenzied, which gives melee attack plus 10, weapon strength and charge bonus plus 10%, and with Unbreakable it will never falter until his body falters. He causes fear, and he has 2 bound abilities. Crimson Juggernaut has a high 120 second cooldown, duration 25 seconds, affects self only. He gives himself plus 25% general speed, plus 50% charge speed, and his charge speed was cracked. Plus 40% charge bonus, and gives himself Glorious Charge, so his enhanced charge bonus decays at half the rate, so going from 15-ish seconds to 30-ish. Also, morale penalties to the front in a charge, like you charged flank or rear, but charging into a wall of spears is still not recommended, because it's wasteful. The other is Kill for Khorne, 1 second duration, 24 damage to enemies, 67% of which is armor piercing, and counts as magical attack. To enemies in a 15-meter radius, and inflicts rampage on them, so even crossbowmen will stay and brawl for a bit. The rampage lasts for 15 seconds. It's a little like what Skarbrand can do. His trait, the Talon of Khorne, gives minus 25% upkeep to Minotaurs of Khorne, Blood Beasts of Khorne, and Spawn of Khorne, despite his availability to Norsca. Well, they can lean into Spawn. Serpentine Tail, as a passive in campaign, has a 10-meter radius, and is constantly being quote-unquote cast in melee, and the explanations start adding up. 50% chance of doing 4 damage to an entity per second, maximum of 5 entities in a unit affected. In other words, it's a constant trickle of damage in a narrow area around him, so mini Mortis Engine stuff. This is the sort of thing you want to see, since obviously no spells for anti-blob work, though there is the Kill of Khorne ability when it is up. His legendary item, Brass Collar of Khorne, a talisman slot like Bjorg, is available full-time upon recruitment and gives armor plus 15, which certainly helps, spell resistance plus 10% for his own army, missile resistance plus 10% for his own army, no range to this, it's the whole thing, and a full-time passive to Scyla himself, plus 15% spell resistance on top of the former, and plus 20% ward save. Who needs physical resistance? As an embedded hero, Scyla grants training, much like Bjorg did, instead of control. He provides chaos corruption. Like Bjorg, he has the Holy Trinity agent actions of Assault Garrison, Assassinate, and Assault Army, though he's useful enough in an army you may want him that way. Specialist reduces the gold cost of those actions, or equivalent. Standard pips at rank 7 can provide missile resistance 10% and spell resistance 10% above what you had before. The very Khorne E combat line will have one-word skills and exclamation marks for emphasis, but let's go through it briskly. Brutal Charge is an exception, and that's 1 pip for plus 5% weapon strength and plus 5 flat charge bonus. Maim! Exclamation mark. Gives plus 8 melee attack and plus 6% weapon strength at 3 pips. Kill is plus 8 melee defense and plus 6% weapon strength. Destroy is armor plus 10 and another plus 6% weapon strength. Slaughter is plus 10% physical resistance where none was present before and plus 6% weapon strength. Foe Seeker is the usual active ability, speed buff, and fatigue relief. Murder is plus 10% hit points and plus 6% weapon strength. Hunt is speed plus 10% and weapon strength plus 6%. Cleave is another plus 8 melee attack and the usual. Crush is plus 20 flat charge bonus and the usual. And Deadly Onslaught is the refreshingly retro active ability, weapon strength plus 25%, stacking with what you just saw, and charge bonus plus 60%. So let's look at the personal line. At rank 12, Kill for Khorne, the skill provides immunity to contact effects, so Tarks cannot daze him and so on, and grants plus 15% physical resistance. Who needs physical resistance? Scyla does. Rampant Ruination gives Scyla plus 50% movement range when not embedded in an army, much better than Bjorg's similar bonus, and gives plus 25% to casualties from assault garrison and assault units both. No increase to success chance here, but if you want garrisons depleted, he's your guy. Rapid Rage gives Scyla plus 15% weapon strength, plus 12 bonus versus infantry, which is new, and Fueled by Rage, which gives plus 25% weapon strength to Scyla if/when he is under 50% health. And remember, he is Unbreakable. Scourgeborn Champion gives him Causes Terror, he reduces enemy leadership by 4 in local region, and cooldown minus 50% to Kill for Khorne, the bound ability. Bloodthirsty Charge grants Frenzy to Norscan warhounds and ice wolves in his army, greatly increasing their damage output. Adds plus 15 flat charge bonus to both of those units plus Skin Wolves units, and meaning Frenzy will multiply the raised base total plus 10% by itself, and all 3 unit types gain Hungering Blades, granting that unit plus 5 melee attack and plus 20% weapon strength if it has more than 40 kills in a particular battle. Depending on what you're facing, Hounds and Skin Wolves could clear that hurdle with ridiculous ease. The capstone skill, Kill for Khorne, provides Gore Feast, letting Scyla regenerate 0.1% health per second in melee, and the Disorganized Contact effect, causing leadership minus 6, but also removing expert charge defense and charge defense versus large. So, on that note, how do we use Scyla? When you have him fully skilled, he is unbelievably handy as the tip of the spear, crashing into even the worst braced opposition, Blackguard of Naggarond, or Phoenix Guard, or Celestial Dragon Guard, and instantly render those units far, far less able to defend themselves against whatever you send at them, be it Minotaurs, Blood Beasts, Spawn, or a bunch of Mammoths. It's all good. It's hard to go wrong with Scyla, because he provides passive defensive boosts and active ways to hurt your enemies and disrupt, distract, and otherwise aggrieve. He's not an anti-large character per se, he's a general-purpose beatstick with a way to damage blobs Bjorg does not. Feel free to aggressively give in to aggression. Don't forget where we started. Crimson Juggernaut is fully compatible with Foe Seeker and Deadly Onslaught. Pick your preferred target, charge in and lay waste, and 6 targets maxed damaged in blob fights isn't even bad. Just keep in mind, he comes with very split damage and thus is a sponge for enemy debuffs to armor like from Lore of Metal. Also keep in mind, his damage is straight damage. There is no flaming attack to be had. He is thus Chaos Dwarf safe, and the army-wide boost to missile defense isn't bad at all, and is a way to make things even more ridiculous with Fimir nobles if playing Norsca. Final footnote, unlike Bjorg, Scyla came in with Omens of Destruction when Skulltaker and Arbol joined the party, but I'm only getting around to him now with the Norscan rework. Thus, Khorne, Norsca, and any Warriors of Chaos faction not brutally opposed to Khorne can recruit him. Take care and have fun killing for Khorne! Let's not complicate this. All we need are more exclamation marks.